Hello everyone, and to kick off today's presentation about Shinrin-Yoku and forest bathing, I would want to request you to close your eyes. And now imagine the last time that you were in the forest. How did you feel? What did you smell? What did you sense? What did you hear? What did you experience? What was the feeling? What were the emotions? And just immerse yourself in that state. And slowly open your eyes. So this is Ancestral Energy, holistic health coach Dovydas Lukšas, and today I'm giving a presentation about Shinrin-Yoku, or also called forest bathing therapy, which comes from Japan. And to move throughout the table of contents, so I'm gonna share my own story and about my connection to forests, and then there's gonna be an introduction, a research question, then the scientific evidence on Shinrin-Yoku, and then discussion and conclusion. So my story, as I remember when I was like just a small child, I used to spend lots of time, almost all my summers, at my grandparents' village that had beautiful forests nearby, and I would typically let go of my dogs and we would just go and scan and explore the forests. So from early age I have actually developed a very sincere, very deep connection with forest as an environment, and also with forest and trees as friends, I could even say like that. And it has been a place of nourishment. It has been a place of finding the answers when you feel, perhaps when you're in this state where you need to find yourself, or you are exploring life as a process. And I feel forest provides that nurture. And one other thing is, maybe more recently I started to use it as a place to go kind of refilter, assess myself, and also make important decisions and kind of like recollect myself. And I think trees as a living organism really embody that state, that beauty, that connection between the heaven and the earth. And I think that there's a lot to learn from forests and trees. So I personally found many personal, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual benefits, and I hope that today's presentation is also going to inspire you to go and explore the forest. So my research question was, what are the health benefits of Shinrin-Yoku, or the specific forest bathing therapy of Japan? And first of all, so Shinrin-Yoku is an official also therapy in Japan, which is used for people who work too much, who are suffering from depression or mental health disorders, and it helps to bring people to a state of nature, of the forest. And in this case, so forest bathing helps to connect a human being to its primal five senses. So we have the gustatory, so perhaps like tasting something wild in the forest, taking some wild fruit or something. Then also hearing, so auditory, how are the birds chirping, what's happening. Then seeing the different colors, and as well so sensations and other primal five senses. So by reconnecting human to its primal nature, it helps us also to find our center. And for emotional health, we can see that the scientific studies shows that forest bathing therapy helps to activate parasympathetic nervous system. So it also stimulates the vagus nerve, and it also stimulates the parasympathetic nerve branches to activate the more calming and soothing, relaxing nervous system state compared to the sympathetic system, which is typically over dominating in the modern day individuals, and it's associated with the kind of survival mode or fear or constant rush and lack of sleep, and where everything's like a turmoil and chaos. And so sympathetic system in excess is very detrimental to health. And like more advanced studies, so testing salivary and as well serum cortisol and levels, they found that cortisol is lower about 42% in the forest bathing therapy group compared to people who just spend the same amount of time in the urban environment where there are just buildings and there's, for example, lack of natural smells, natural sounds, and the green color and the trees and plants. So as well, the urinary adrenaline levels were lower in the forest bathing group. And very interesting observations were found about immune health, where forest bathing therapy, Shinrin-Yoku, activates the activity of natural killer cells, which are very important because they help to activate also anti-cancer proteins, and they have antiviral, antifungal, antiparasitic effects. They are kind of like the first line of defense as well in the body. So just by spending time in the forest in this 3-day program, these effects were also observed that they remain, so the immune system is activated for the next 30 days, and they followed up that with repeating blood markers and tests. So if you would be interested, you can look into this study of Lee. And now for Shinrin-Yoku and physiology, it's not rocket science. So pretty much the main factor is that the parasympathetic system activates. So therefore cortisol lowers, therefore the blood pressure as well lowers, the heart pumping rate, pulse rate is also lowered, and that also brings not only physiological sensation that you feel more calm and grounded and peaceful, but it also provides these mental, emotional benefits, which are, I think, in this chapter of where humanity is going, are very, very useful for everybody. And if we move into depression, Shinrin-Yoku has been proven to be effective for patients with clinical depression, with anxiety, with stress, and other mental health disorders. So now, after kind of going through all of this information, you can see that forest bathing is amazing practice, is beautiful, and I think it's very accessible. Each of us can find time once a week or at least once a month to spend a few hours in the forest and explore and connect to the elements and look at the plants and the trees and see how much actually is given to us by nature. And also, I think we have to be very thankful for, especially Japanese people, for making it more public and investigating it and showing an example in that. But it's not only about the green space or the trees. There's many more factors that come into play, and some of them I wrote down. This is earthing, or so-called grounding. So, for example, where you are walking barefoot, because sometimes it happens that people are walking barefoot or they are touching plants and trees with their hands, and so there's a direct contact between man and nature, and so there's a direct connection to Mother Earth through the skin, and that's been proven to also reduce cortisol levels and have positive health outcomes. Now for green space, this is also a very interesting element. So not necessarily it's about the tree, it's also about green space. That's also been shown in the studies that green color as itself helps to reduce stress markers and helps to calm down. And well, green color is abundant in nature, in the forest, so that could be one of other elements, how we can explain it. And most interestingly are the effects, the antiviral or the immune stimulating properties, because it's been investigated that trees expel, or you could say like share with the environment and all the living organisms these phytoncides, which also are their own immune like natural compound, but it also corresponds or correlates, or there is a relationship how our body responds to these compounds, and in the end it helps us to also thrive and have more robust immune systems. So in a way, trees are sharing these molecules with us, and it's up for you to share that beautiful connection with the trees. So all in all, forest bathing is a very accessible and beautiful practice that can benefit the health of humanity. So it's important that we save our forests, and I would love to finish and to conclude with these beautiful thoughts is that by Nitin Das, 2017, that when you learn to carry the forest within you, that's when you are truly always home. So that sensation. And John Muir said, and into the forest I go to lose my mind and find my soul. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you very much. These are the references, and let's share the forest. Ciao.